The planet trained for war. For most civilizations in the galaxy, war was something that happened only a few times in history. A terrible event, a tragic mistake, a disaster everyone hoped never to repeat. Planets developed advanced diplomacy systems to avoid conflict. Armies existed mostly for ceremonial purposes. Military academies studied wars that had ended centuries ago. In the modern galaxy, large-scale warfare was considered primitive, uncivilized. But there was one planet where war had never been forgotten: Earth. For thousands of years, humans had fought each other, nations, empires against empires, ideologies against ideologies. Entire continents had burned, cities had fallen, millions had died, and yet humanity survived. More importantly, humanity learned. Humans studied war the way other species studied art or philosophy. They analyzed battles from centuries ago. They simulated wars in complex computer models. They trained soldiers constantly. But the strangest part was this: even when there was no war, humans imagined one. Movies, books, video games. Entire entertainment industries built around imaginary invasions, alien invasions, zombie breaks, robot uprisings, global disasters. To the rest of the galaxy, this behavior was bizarre. Even why would a peaceful civilization constantly imagine its own destruction? No one understood. Not until the invasion began. The first alien fleet appeared in the outer solar system without warning. Massive ships emerged from hyperspace beyond the orbit of Jupiter. They belonged to a species known as the Krath Dominion. The Krath were conquerors. For centuries they had expanded across distant regions of the galaxy. Most civilizations surrendered immediately when the Krath arrived. Those who resisted rarely survived long. Krath commanders expected Earth to be no different. Their intelligence reports described humanity as a young species with limited interstellar capability, a primitive world, an easy conquest. The Krath sent a simple transmission toward Earth: surrender your planet and submit to Krath authority. Resistance result in planetary cleansing. The message reached Earth within minutes, and humanity reacted instantly, not with panic, not with confusion, but preparation. Around the world, defense systems activated. Satellites shifted into combat formation. Navies moved to strategic positions. Fighter jets launched from hidden air bases. Submarines disappeared into deep ocean trenches. Military commanders opened files that had been prepared decades earlier. Contingent plans, detailed strategies, scenarios that had once like science fiction. Alien invasion plans. The Krath fleet continued its slow advance toward Earth. They expected negations, perhaps surrender. Instead, they received something else: a global cast. Not from one government, but from all of them. The message was short: we've been expecting you. When the Krath fleet entered Earth's orbit, they expected chaos. Instead, they saw something shocking. The entire planet defended. Orbital weapon platforms surrounded Earth like a metal ring. Thousands of satellites formed a complex defensive grid. Hidden railgun cannons emerged from mountain bunkers. Autonomous drone fleets launched from secret facilities. The Krath admiral stared at the tactical display. This planet was preparing for invasion. Another officer studied the data. For how long? The answer stunned them. Centuries. Humans had imagined alien invasions for so long, they had eventually started preparing for them. Not officially at first, but gradually. Secret military research, experimental defense technologies, advanced planetary shield concepts, and thousands of strategic simulations. By the time the Krath arrived, Earth had already practiced war millions of times. The Krath launched the first attack. Massive energy beams fired from their warships toward Earth's defense grid. Several satellites were destroyed instantly. The rest adapted. Human defense systems changed formation. New satellites moved into position. Railguns fired from hidden orbital platforms. Hypervelocity projectiles slammed into Krath ships. Explosions lit up the darkness of space. Then Earth deployed its most unusual weapon, drone swarms. Millions of tiny drones launched from orbit and the surface. Individually, they were harmless, but they formed massive clouds around the Krath fleet. The drones jammed sensors, blocked weapon targeting systems, attached themselves to enemy hulls and detonated. The Krath ships struggled to maintain formation. Human forces attacked relentlessly. Every military branch on Earth coordinated perfectly. Navies launched missile strikes from the oceans. Air forces attacked with hypersonic fighters. Orbital weapons fired continuously. For the first time in centuries, the Krath Dominion encountered real resistance. And something else, human strategy. Unlike most species, humans didn't follow predictable battle doctrines. They changed tactics constantly, improvised new strategies mid-battle, even sacrificed their own equipment to create opportunities. The Krath fleet began losing ships, then dozens, then hundreds. The invasion slowed, stalled, then something thinkable happened. The Krath admiral ordered retreat. News of the battle spread across the galaxy. A young species had defeated one of the most aggressive empires in space. Alien observers studied the battle recordings carefully. They noticed something extraordinary. Every human strategy looked familiar because it had been practiced before in military simulations. For centuries, humans had imagined alien invasions in their stories. They had asked themselves one question over and over again. What would we do if it really happened? When it finally did, they already had the answer. Years later, a meeting of the Galactic Council took place. Representatives from dozens of species gathered to discuss humanity. One ambassador asked the question everyone was thinking. How did your planet prepare so perfectly for an invasion that had never happened before? The human representative smiled. It did. The council members looked confused when the human leaned in the chair. In stories across the galaxy, civilizations slowly realized something important. Most species tried to forget war. Humans studied it, imagined it, prepared. So when the real war finally arrived, humanity, surprised, they were ready. And from that day forward, the galaxy understood something new. Earth wasn't just another planet. It was a planet that had spent centuries training for a war that hadn't happened yet. And now that it had, humanity was ready for the next one.